across the county, across the day on 96.7 in the west and 104.2 in the east. This is Radio Kent from the BBC.
I'm sorry, the travel
update from the BBC on Radio Kent.
Solent travel news from the BBC. We'll be in Brighton, Staines, Chichester, Reigate, Storrington, Godalming and Heathfield. This is BBC Southern Counties Radio.
It's 4 o'clock.
BBC Southern Counties Radio Travel with RDS. Car radios that think. Radio station where you always know what's coming next, then go somewhere else. Hear the difference from BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Serving Berkshire and Oxfordshire on 95.2 and 104.1. This is Thames Valley FM from the BBC.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Alison Booker.
Thames Valley FM. BBC Thames Valley FM Travel.
An inquiry.
Sport motorway check. Stuart Barton is at AA Roadwatch. Chris Howes.
A cloudy and wetty.
It's 10 to 5 and here with the travel news is Yana Groves.
Well, I'm not in the box, I'm in the travel centre actually. The rush hour traffic that we all know and love is nearly upon us and we're beginning to see the signs. The King's Road in Reading was suffering from roadworks yesterday causing delays. Well, those works seem to be just about carried out, but there are still the usual still the usual after-work build-ups. That's nearer the town centre at Queen's Road, and the Basingstoke Road is also getting a little heavy now. Getting you there faster. This is Yana Groves at the Thames Valley FM Travel Centre. There's more in 15 minutes.
Thames Valley FM. BBC Thames Valley FM Travel.
3:05, here's Warren Lee at the AA.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
Funhouse on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
Whenever you listen, you're never more than half an hour away from our exclusive news, weather and travel sequence at BBC Southern Counties Radio. House on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
It is indeed the Funhouse here on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
One thing that's never dry, the Late Show on Radio Kent. Comics and collectibles this hour.
Get ready to call.
It's Andrew Beach and Jenny Day, keeping you company on Saturday morning between now and 12:30.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
Serving Berkshire from studios in Newbury, Slough and Reading on 104.1. This is Thames Valley FM from the BBC.
It's 12 noon. I'm David Campbell.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
Still to come then in the final hour of the programme, we'll give you the winners of our competition. We'll also talk more about videos with Steve, and we'll preview the weekend's television.
Right, good morning London, this is GLR, and that's where we say thank you to programmes from the BBC World Service. It's Saturday morning, May the 11th, the time is approaching 6 o'clock. Coming up at 6:30, join me, Tim Smith, for the Saturday Breakfast Show. From 10 until midday, it's the Pile of Cack Show. And then from midday until 1, I return with Angie Errigo for the GLR Picture Show. Oh, and after that, of course, it's Greatest Hits, and then from 2 until 6, GLR Sport, keeping you up to date with this afternoon's FA Cup final. Before that, though, we have, to ease you into this Saturday morning, yes, for your delectation and delight, 30 minutes of music from The Oasis. This is GLR from the BBC 94.9 FM. Good morning, London. Coming up then, music from The Oasis. It's 6 o'clock.
In Ramsgate, Tunbridge Wells, Minster, Herne Bay and Maidstone. Across the county on 96.7 in the west and 104.2 in the east. This is Radio Kent. From the BBC.
Because it all sounds very serious things. We'll have sports talk for you in a moment. We'll continue to bring you the latest from Edgbaston. And we'll continue talking rubbish.
No one covers Sussex, Surrey and North East Hampshire like BBC Southern Counties Radio.
For more
Thames Valley FM. Thames Valley FM. BBC Thames Valley FM.
Who are Leicester City?
Adrian Love on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Good afternoon. Isn't it lovely? Oh, come on. It is gorgeous. Dust off the Barbie, Mother. I'll be home by 6:30. What have we got this afternoon? Between now and 5, the sheep dip defence. Please, Your Honour, ICI made me do it. The case of Sarah Thornton, found not guilty on retrial of the murder of her husband. Guilty of manslaughter, but she's already served the time. We'll talk about that.
Monday night for the phone-in, and we'll start at about 11:30ish, something like that. Brilliant. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you, Ed.
We should be off to our little seedy joint now. I'm Ed Douglas. This is BBC Southern Counties Radio. Have a great weekend. Joanne Good's here tomorrow and Sunday. I'll be back with you on Monday night at 9. You take care now. See you then. Bye-bye. Bye all.
Bye.
On 96.7 in the west and 104.2 FM in the east. From the Thames to the Channel, this is Radio Kent. From from the BBC.
Wishing our lives the way we are. It's 9 minutes after 11, Wednesday, June 12, 1996, and the news headlines to this hour.
Adrian Love on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Oh, yes, baby. Break out the Factor 15 and spend the afternoon with Adrian Love on BBC Southern Counties Radio. We look at women's cricket. We look at transsexuality. We wax lyrical about Madame Tussauds. And Stephen King continues his reports from the student fashion world. And, of course, your chance to have your say as always.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
But just to make me feel loved, it's part of a new feature on Andrew Peach, The Weekend Shows, Saturday and Sunday morning from 10 o'clock. The idea is you go away, you send me a postcard, I get to hear all your holiday news, because I'm a bit nosy like that. And it also means you don't have to send anyone else a postcard. Just make sure all your family and all your friends are listening at the weekend. And they'll hear your holiday news on the wireless. Make a note of the address, go on. Andrew Peach, BBC Thames Valley FM, P.O. Box 1044 in Reading, P.O. Box 954 in Slough, or P.O. Box 952 in Oxford. Send me a postcard, save on postage, and we'll read them out on the weekend mornings.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
10 to 5 now. Traffic and travel news from Amanda Brown and Warren Lee.
Well, first over to Warren Lee at the AA. Are we over to Warren Lee? No? Okay then. This is Amanda Brown in the Thames Valley FM Travel Centre. There'll be more in 15 minutes.
Thames Valley FM.
Thanks, Amanda.
And a very warm welcome to you if you just joined us. It is the Late Show at BBC Radio Kent. In this hour, it's the complete introduction to record collecting. And also, if there's something in your collection you'd like to check out, give us a call, 01634 811111. And today we find out it's not just records that are valuable. It could be CDs. It might even be collectible cassettes. Your line to valuables in the record and cassette collection on 01634 811111. Tony Charman from Backtrack Records in Ashford, our guest in this hour of the programme.
Hour 2 of the Late Show. A very good evening wherever you are. Ed Douglas here till 1 in the morning. And we've got a bit of a musical half hour coming up. The toys are out of the pram in a minute because we have an argument. Who is better, Oasis or the Beatles? First though, something much nicer, a bit of big band music, a bit of jazz. Coming soon, Copacabana is pulling the crowds in Eastbourne. We'll talk to one of the stars of the show. We'll talk about films later as well. One of the big hits of the Cannes Film Festival is now being shown in the Southern Counties. We'll speak to the guy who wrote that particular film, and it's causing a bit of a stir. It's called Beautiful Thing. You may have heard about it. It's 13 to 11. Talking films next.
A bigger variety of stories and celebrities, people and places on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
We're talking about films soon. You might have seen it actually or heard about it. The film is called Beautiful Thing. We are. We're going to go to Reigate now, to the grammar school, and Talia Roberson is on the telephone. Talia, good evening.
Good evening.
I gather we've had the vote then. 311 for, 206 against.
variety of stories and celebrities, people and places. Real people tell real-life stories on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
So I'll tell you about mine. I'll just save it for the book, I think. At 7:22, we're about to play Beat the Joneses. It's a game where we pit two families together. So many more games happening as well this evening. It's as simple as picking up the phone, calling us, and making sure that you get on the radio. We don't eat you alive. We're not like some other radio stations that are there to shock and certainly not entertain. No, matron. Just a bit of fun, really, as Jane will vouch.
You know where you are with BBC Southern Counties Radio Travel.
It's 6 minutes past 8. No problems reported on the roads throughout the southern counties this evening. It's all back to normal on the M25 after the closure which took place earlier on this evening. This is Kerry Jones. We're playing Wash Up or Wash Out with Margaret and Banstead. We'll play again in a couple of minutes' time, and many more games coming up this evening as well. First, though, let's see if your interest is kept after hearing the lottery numbers, because somebody could do it. You never know. The numbers have been drawn. It's my chance to be the voice of the balls now. 4, 17, 27, 34, 35, 46, and the bonus number is 7.
BBC Southern Counties Radio. The difference. Sussex, Surrey and North East Hampshire's big events are live on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Yeah, and Adrian out and about in his summer holiday type bus without Unistubs over the next couple of days, and you'll hear all the fun and be able to soak up the atmosphere and hear the excitement of it and meet some new people as well over the next couple of days in the afternoons on BBC Southern Counties Radio. Across the south, this is BBC Southern Counties Radio. It's 8 minutes to 9.
BBC Southern Counties Radio. We're not what you expect.
This is Kerry Jones playing games this evening in the Funhouse at BBC Southern Counties Radio. We'll check sports in a bit. A quick recap of the questions then. What's the last book in the Bible called? Where did the Wright brothers make their first historic flight from? Here's a geographical one for you. Can cheat with this. Get an atlas out.
Today's news, sport, travel and weather.
At Southern Counties Radio, I'm Jenny Keynes.
Sport now. Motorway check. Mark Newman is at AA Roadwatch.
Now the 3-day check.
In Sussex, Surrey and North East Hampshire, this is BBC Southern Counties Radio.
To 95.3 and 104 to 104.8 FM. BBC Southern Counties Radio.
The radio station that blends exciting, innovative programmes, chances to win and essential information across the south.
No one covers Sussex, Surrey and North East Hampshire like BBC Southern Counties Radio. Caterham, Littlehampton, Epsom, Crowborough, Midhurst and Egham. This is BBC Southern Counties Radio.
It's 1 o'clock.
Sport that's ahead of the game on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Sorry, as these.
You know where you are with BBC Southern Counties Radio Travel. BBC Southern Counties Radio Weather.
And welcome to the second hour.
Just want to get in the mood for this, okay? Hang on. Hand me down that back to front baseball.
It was riveting. Thames Valley FM. Hello, this is Bob Preedy, one-time proprietor of the Castle Cinema Pickering. It's in Yorkshire.
Hello, I'm Jean Alexander.
Hi, Jean.
Hello, it's Peter Levy here.
Hi, Pete.
BBC North FM.
Thames Valley.
Thames Valley FM.
Thames Valley.
If your postman doesn't listen to
Martin Kellner.
leave the dog out and don't feed him.
2 coffee, 2 sugar, 2 cream.
Later. Oh.
Martin Kellner.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Derek Folds.
Well, hi, Derek. Some great stuff for you tonight here on Thames Valley FM. With them next.
BBC North
Thames Valley FM.
Thanks for making
Martin Kellner.
number 1.
You bet.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
Oh, yeah. You betcha, Bippy. Thank you very much indeed to us. I'm not sure that cloud does bubble up. Does cloud bubble up?
It bubbles up from the lakes and the seas.
It bubbles up from the lakes and the seas. There you go. So the long, hot summer continues. Let's now check what's happening on the roads. Let's check it. We want to check it. And our man who's going to do the checking for us is the man who's known quite literally, as Sean Sloan.
Why, thank you. Well, hello again, Thames Valley region.
Thank you very much indeed, Sean. Whoop, lovely. And we'll talk to you again at 12 minuit.
I look forward to it.
Not as much as we do. Sean, we'll speak to you later.
Cheers.
Bye-bye now. There he goes. The great man, Sean Sloan.
Yes.
From the travel unit.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Thames Valley Singers.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Thames Valley FM.
Yes.
In Eastbourne, Pulborough, Hindhead, Haywards Heath, Farnborough, Hove and Epsom, this is BBC Southern Counties Radio.
It's 6:30.
BBC Thames Valley FM travel.
Well, all's well on the road so far this evening on the motorways and major routes through the Thames Valley region. Some overnight works to mention. On the M4, lanes 1 and 2 are closed for a short stretch eastbound between junction 13 and 12. That takes the motorway down to 1 lane at a point between Newbury and Theale. And between junction 8, 9 and 10, that's around Maidenhead, lane 3 is closed westbound. All those closures will remain in place until about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And on the M3 in Hampshire, there's overnight restrictions on the westbound carriageway around junction 5. That's for resurfacing work. In Berkshire at Bracknell, Priory Road is closed for roadworks. That's just off the A3095 near the Met Office roundabout. And in Oxford City Centre tonight, there's overnight roadworks on Queen Street and then Cornmarket Street with local diversions operating. A note for drivers that might be heading into London, major roadworks got underway tonight on the A4 Great West Road in Chiswick. There's only 2 lanes between the end of the M4 and Sutton Court Road, and there's no entry to the A4 eastbound from Chiswick roundabout. Tim Keane, A Roadwatch.
What do you think about a cappella jingle? What do you think?
Sounds great. Thanks very much. Well, I'm sorry. Don't know what's happening. It's all collapsed. We've all gone to pieces here. But have a lovely weekend, and we'll speak to you next week, probably. We'll do. Okay, then. Bye-bye, Tim. Fantastic. Anyway, we'll go away, because we're probably irritating if you've got an RDS radio, and here they come. Bring them on! It's the Thames Valley Singers! They're singing for you! Oh, fantastic. I feel fantastic. Wonderful. They are triumphs of the human spirit.
Just after this.
Thames Valley FM.
Oh dear. It's not, they just get too hot and I just can't cope. I'm all of a quiver.
Hello, I'm Bill Reynolds.
I know what they mean, those pesky bills.
Thames Valley FM. Thames Valley FM.
Thursday's Phil Kennedy Show, through until 5 o'clock.
Doing it.
That's it.
Right. And a very good Thursday evening to you. This is Ian McGregor on the Radio Touchman.
Eric Dixon on BBC Southern Counties Radio. No one covers Sussex, Surrey and North East Hampshire like BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Your 24-hour weather update from BBC Radio Kent.
As we pop over to the Regional Weather Centre. Drive Time with Joanne Coburn on BBC Thames Valley FM.
In tonight's programme.
During the day, one overnight, and no entry to the A4 from the Chiswick roundabout. That's been causing horrible delays every single day, so avoid that if you can. In Buckinghamshire, the A413 Wendover bypass works continuing there, and in Berkshire on the A339 at Greenham Common, temporary lights for roadworks by the airbase, and in Wraysbury the Copper Mill lane is closed for major roadworks. Please tell me at the moment traffic is very heavy, as you might expect on a Friday night, but no major problems. Greg Clifford, AA Roadwatch.
It's here. Yes. Attaining new standards of speed and performance you never thought possible.
Yes. What is it?
Martin Kellner. The weekends are special.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is, of course, Roger Deswan.
From the BBC. Slow down.
Lewis, Pulborough, Redhill, Haywards Heath, Farnborough and Hove. This is BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Stove, my goodness.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
3:29 right now. Radio Kent, first for traffic and travel news from the BBC.
Well, on those counties trains, no major problems to report still.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
Serving Berkshire and Oxfordshire on 95.2 and 104.1. This is Thames Valley FM from the BBC.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm Rebecca Broxton.
The guy who introduces the travel news has sounded more and more butch as the day has gone on. And sadly, it's completely failed. Let me just have another, because I just love it when it goes wrong like this.
First for traffic and travel news from the BBC.
What a disappointment. What a letdown. That's no fun.
On Radio Kent.
West of Sittingbourne, the A249 is still very busy.
Thames Valley FM. Thames Valley FM. BBC Thames Valley FM.
In Camberley, Seaford, Hazelmere, Rye, Crawley, Singleton and Dorking, this is BBC Southern Counties Radio.
£7 on Thursday, the 22nd of August. I'm John Ryan.
Yeah. Motown Magic with Phil Kennedy in the afternoon on BBC Thames Valley FM. You're wonderful, sir. Thank you.
Let's head to Detroit.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
And just a classic from the Four Tops. If you do it, I'll be really impressed. That's a good one, isn't it? All right, it's 8 minutes past 4, and here we go then. Classic Mystery Year. Get on your phones, 0645 311 111. What year is it? It was the year that the Olympics were held in South Korea. Britain won gold in the men's hockey. Ben Johnson won the 100 metres. And then he didn't, because he was sent home in disgrace for testing positive for drugs. Flojo was the star of the games. At the Winter Olympics, the star of the show was Eddie the Eagle Edwards. Remember him? Red Nose Day raised millions for comic relief. Prince Charles lost a close friend in a skiing accident. It was the year of Lockerbie and also the Clapham rail disaster. Piper Alpha as well in the North Sea led to the deaths of 150 men. George Bush was elected as president in our Classic Mystery Year. Have you any ideas what the year is? It is 0645 311 111. OK, get on the old phone right now. Be a winner on our Classic Mystery Year. 0645 311 111.
BBC Thames Valley FM.
It's a Friday night.
In Woking, Camber, Polegate, Cookfield, Sunbury, Esher and Worthing, this is BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Thanks, Becky, and we cross over now to the sports desk with John Southall.
Thames Valley FM.
There'll be more news from me in an hour's time.
Thames Valley FM.
Well, no problems at the moment around the Thames Valley. Matt Ross, AA Roadwatch.
News for London from the BBC on GLR 94.9 FM. Greater London Radio, 94.9 FM.
BBC Greater London Radio 2020 travel news. Traffic is very quiet now on the roads. Earlier Friday night delays have now eased. And West London...
01703 631 316.
BBC Solent, it's 8 o'clock and this is Nikki Brown.
Thames Valley FM news from the BBC.
You betcha, Bippy. Thank you very much indeed, Andy. No, sorry, Dan, isn't it? Dan.
Yes.
It's Dan. Dan. Well done, Dan. Let's check on the travel now here on Thames Valley FM. We'll sort of change with all the jingles here tonight. We'll go to the travel desk now. It's at AA Roadwatch. We say a very good evening to Matthew Spark. AA Roadwatch, let's have those Thames Valley singers.
Bring 'em
right this
on!
way.
Bring 'em on!
Ow.
Bring 'em on!
Ow.
Thames Valley FM.
Send them off. You bet.